Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So in today's video, I'm going to be listing down some features and some things that we would like to be added in VRChat. Now these are purely my ideas, and I also asked some of my buddies to suggest an idea if they have, and some of them brought out some pretty cool things. So here's some features in VRChat that I and others wish to be added in future updates in VRChat overall. We're gonna start the list from most likely to least likely because some of these on the list are never gonna see the light of the day, but I'm still going to list them down because I think majority of people will want them added. Anyway, let's get on with the list. So the first thing that we have on the list is streaming camera for desktop mode. Now there already is a streaming camera in desktop mode if you go into your desktop and you go and you enable the streaming camera, but so far as I'm aware, it doesn't actually switch to the streaming camera like it does when you're in VR and you're using a stream camera through OBS. So the stream camera is apparent on the desktop mode, but it doesn't seem to function at all, and it forces you to only strictly keep your POV. So even if you switch it to the stream mode, it's not going to work. This could be a user error, but as far as I know, that is still broken. The next thing is a personal mirror adjustment so that it's straight. Now when you enable the personal mirror, it is kind of straight, but you have to grab it and adjust it, and then the second you do, it just kind of tilts and it breaks. So maybe just have an adjustment so you can have it like, you can have it through the menu or it just jumps up perfectly just so that it's always straight and not tilted or forward or on the side. The next thing is personal avatar search box. Now this one was actually suggested by my friend Foodman and Coco, but actually many people suggested this. Now this would be a really neat feature where you can basically type in the name of your avatar and it'll show it for you, so you don't have to scroll through like 500 avatars. As someone who uploaded so many avatars, it's kind of hard to find some and lose some. While on personal avatars, it would be cool to have a personal avatars favorite list. Now I know that you can favorite an avatar, but these are mostly filled already by public avatars. We should have a separate free version where you can only favorite your private avatars so that again you don't need to scroll through the entire list. Next is more status options, and by this I mean, the blue, the green, the orange, and the red. I feel like we need a little bit more options than that because too many people are sitting on orange and red. I know this is, weird, but the most, people are on orange and on red, and if you're on orange, then it's kind of, people think you're not available, and if you're on red, you're either doing sus things or, it just looks a bit too dramatic. So if we can have a little bit more options, that would be neat. Next one is redesign the error world. Now, this one was suggested by my friend Mission, and I do have to agree, the error world has become kind of iconic, and so many people posted photos when they get kicked into it, but I will be honest, I think it does need a redesign, kind of like we've seen with the home world. If you're gonna redesign the home world, come on, redesign the error world as well. I feel like that would be a neat thing to do. The next one is suggested by my friend Foodman, and it is exposure and shutter control on the camera. Now this is an amazing feature and I feel like it would definitely be, well received. Both of these options are really great and I can definitely see it being added because it shouldn't be that hard to do. Now if you're someone who records a lot in VRChat, this next one is pretty big. It's to fix the recording sound so that it's mirrored the other way. If you are someone who records videos or streams, you will notice that when you're watching the stream, the sound is flipped. So in editing, you have to mirror the other around, so you can hear it properly, because some people that are speaking here, they're going to appear on the right side and vice versa. So it's kind of weird. I feel like we need to fix this. Now this one is pretty big, is the ability to see all people in the world and people you have blocked. This one was suggested by my buddy Proto. Now this one is actually pretty great and I can agree with this one, just so you can have a little drop down menu of the world and you can see all the people in it, and you can also see how many people you have blocked in the world because too many, awkward scenarios occur. So the ability to have this would be pretty neat. This one was suggested by my friend Coco, and it's the ability to see mutual friends like on Discord. So basically when you select someone or if you see someone, there's a section that is like mutual friends, and then you can see if they know some of your buddies. I feel like this is a great feature and it should be definitely added. Now this next one is pretty big and a lot of people are going to probably agree with this one, but it is the option to enable old sound effects. But this one would be maybe moved to VRChat Plus feature because it's such a niche thing that I don't honestly think many people would want it. But please, if we can have an option to bring back old sounds and use the old sounds in VRChat, that would be really great. Now we're gonna just fly through this next couple of ones because it's VRChat plus features, so you know it's gonna be weird. So the first one is color and skins for the drones, the camera skins, so you can maybe have different colors or different designs, kind of like you have Ghost in Destiny 2. When you're in a queue world, you will join faster. So if you have VRChat Plus, you're going to join the queue faster. This one's pretty evil, I know, but it's VRChat Plus, so you know you gotta love it. And the last thing is goofy assets that you can drop, and like a bubble gun or something. So you can like go through the menu and like it'll be next to the stickers and whatever, and you just like have assets that are just very low poly, and you can just have like a bubble machine or whatever, just goofy stuff like that. This next one is also kind of weird, but it's more badges and more unique badges. So maybe like a badge how long you played the game or how long did you own your account for. This would be pretty neat. I've seen the VRChat and the mobile badge and whatever, but I feel like if you had a badge where how long you played the game, that would be pretty neat. Now from this point in the video, we're getting into the things that are less likely to be added and probably not because it's too complicated to work around it, but here we go. So the first thing is if a user gets blocked in the world way too many times, he gets instantly kicked. Now this can be abused unfortunately, so I don't think, you know, it'll be a thing or ever a thing, an option, but it would be a pretty neat to have, but it would be a pretty good thing to have. The next thing is options for different loading screens. Now if you remember, and if you're someone who used to play VRChat, we had so many different loading screens, the best one being the portal world, the next one being the one where you're like going through space. Now if you can have different options for like you can choose your own loading screen, that would be pretty neat, although maybe they will argue that it's some server issues and they cannot do it. The ability to let others grab your camera. Now this one is pretty neat where you can just, you know, drop a camera, enable it, and then so others can take it. So you can pass on the camera to others and, you know, they can just grab it. Maybe you can even have it friends only or public, whatever, but I feel like this feature would be pretty neat. Next one is the ability to open up a window and share your screen in game. Now if you're someone who used to play Neos VR, you would know that, you know, you can just spawn in a window in front of you and you can just show someone like a YouTube video, or if you're talking about something like, hey look, I'm getting this car part or whatever, or you're browsing Facebook, whatever. Again, this feature can be pretty abused in many ways, but it would be pretty neat. The next one is bring back the old ranks, like veteran and legendary. Now, I know the entire drama based around these ranks because I've been around and I actually have the veteran rank, and I totally understand it, but I feel like the ranks are kind of getting boring and old, and I wouldn't want to change them completely, but if they added legendary and veteran, I feel like it would be pretty neat. And I don't care about the backlash and about whatever. You can still, you know, go back to trusted or user, whatever, but I feel like these two ranks should make a comeback, honestly, because they're still there in the files, they're just not being used. The next is probably new ranks. Honestly, I feel like we definitely need at least like few, you know, before the new user and after, you know, the trusted, which would be legendary and veteran, but you let me know. Now this next one is pretty interesting, but it's if you're loading into a world and the world detects that your avatar has way too many particles or whatever, it'll put you in a robot avatar or maybe not even let you in the world. This could avoid crashers, but again, you know, there's probably ways around it, and there's probably crashers that hide this, so I don't know how good of a feature that would be, but it's something to keep in mind. The next one is the ability to see how many people are on PC and Quest in a world. So when you go for, you open your world and you want to see how many, all the people, it also shows you how many PC and how many Quest users there are, because some people just want to hang out with PC users and some Quest users want to hang out with just Quest users. So I feel like this would be a pretty neat feature, but honestly, it's kind of dividing the two platforms, so I don't think it'll ever be added. The next one is the ability for portals to show the world you're trying to load. Now, basically imagine a VRChat portal, but you actually see the live feed, like a 3D field of the world. Maybe not see people running inside because that would be pretty hard, but at least like a 3D view of the world, so you can at least see what you're going into, besides just a photo, because some worlds have some photos that have nothing to do with the world, and I absolutely hate it. While we're on the topic of worlds, the ability to show what worlds got deleted. So when you're searching for a world and it says this world has been removed, it would be nice to at least tell you what world world it is, so you know what world you lost. The next one is gonna spike up a lot of drama, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's the ability to block visitors and quest users. Now, what I mean by block is basically not see them. Basically, you just have an option where you're just like, don't show me quest users, don't show me new users, completely block them, and just basically not see them. Now, I understand that this is a pretty harsh feature, and this is why it's the last thing on this list, because I know it's never going to be added, but you let me know down in the comments what you think about this one. And overall, in general, let me know what you think about this list. I know there's too many things to cover in VRChat. I know like the technical things that they need to fix the game, and it's running on single core. I totally understand that, but these are more features that have at least some ability to get added into the VRChat, because the stuff that we actually want added are never going to be added. So fixing the game, VRAM and stuff, I don't think that's ever going to be fixed, but hey, who knows. Anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think and your thoughts on this whole idea and some of these ideas, and heck, leave some of your ideas if you have some. Thank you so much for watching. Click here if you want to check out some of the rest of the content that I have created, and click here if you want to stick to the channel and keep up with all my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around. Peace.